Well, hello and welcome everybody, or good day everybody, I should say, as Randy Replay back at it again here in London. It's too early to be up for football. I'll tell you something, but Randy's up and he's going to do it today. A 9:30 a.m. kickoff here at London Stadium. That is 8:30. Excuse me as I sip the coffee here. 8:30 a.m. for those of you in the Central Time Zone. The 3-4 Vikings will take on the 1-6 Cleveland Browns. Looking at the division, the Green Bay Packers have a bye week. They're sitting atop at 4-3. We are at 3-4 after winning against the Ravens 37-27 in, I'd say, convincing fashion. Jerry Myers and Robert Nichols get interceptions to ice the game, and Justin Vanderschaft puts us really out in front. So Green Bay, it's their bye week, 4-3 on the season. The Minnesota Vikings have one more game, and then it's their bye week. They're at 3-4. The Lions are 2-4, and the Bears are 2-5. So what we're going to do now, really quick before kickoff, is we're going to look at each team's schedule. So the Browns today, then we have our bye week, then we go to Washington. The Bears, they play the Saints, who just whooped on the Packers in Lambeau, and they have lost 3 straight games. So that's in New Orleans, too. So that fan base and that team is going to be super, super excited. And then they have their bye week, week 9. Excuse me. The Lions, they had their bye week last week. They play the Steelers, and then they're at Packers for Monday Night Football. Oh, my goodness. Too early for football, Randy thinks. And then the Packers have... Okay, so they're at the Steelers and then Packers. Packers have their bye week, and then they're obviously against the Lions, so that will be an interesting game. There won't be any ticker action on the bottom of the screen for this one, as this is the first game of Sunday. You might get the Thursday game out there, but that won't really affect the NFC North too much, you would think. Zachary Anderson's still out, so we are still using 3 active corners on this roster. And then the Browns don't have anybody. 2 more weeks for Zachary Anderson, so he will be back on the other side of the bye week for the Washington game. This has been Randy Replay. I will see you at halftime.
Hello, everybody. I'm Larry Ridley. Welcome to Madden 18 on EA Sports. We're across the pond in England this week, and 2 teams are hoping to show off for an international audience. It's the Vikings going up against the Browns. With that, it's time to hook up with our commentators in the booth as we turn it over to Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, we appreciate it, Larry. It's our exclusive coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. This was the scene a few minutes ago. The dog pound in full roar as their Browns emerge from their tunnel. And they're ready to go as they get set to match up with the Minnesota Vikings. Hi again, everyone, with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, we look at this Browns ball club. They come in losers of 2 straight, so they're trying to right the ship here a little bit.
They're teetering a little bit, aren't they? And now things could really go south if they lose this game, so they understand the importance of playing well and stopping this streak.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Vikings. And a good effort on the return there gets them across the 30 to the 33-yard line. They were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that 2nd win in a row.
Now a first carry for Isaiah Crowell. And he'll get this only up to about the 35. A gain of 3, 2nd down. Seven yards to go on 2nd down. Again, it's Crowell. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down. Now that play was doomed right from the start.
He just about ran into every defender on that one, didn't he? It felt like everyone got a piece of that tackle.
On third down, Kaiser. Oh, he's got a little daylight. It's a 9-yard pickup on the play, and that's going to bring up a fourth down. The 8th-year man from Tennessee, this is Britton Colquitt on to punt. He'll kick it away after a 3-and-out on the opening drive of the game. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. In the end zone, much too much leg there. That'll be a touchback. So here's the Viking offense making their way out. And they will be led out by their 6'4" quarterback. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he will lose yardage on the play. Back at his own 19-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. A tackle for loss there. 2 last week. He's tough to handle coming off the edge.
And when you talk about a defensive end, your first thought is, how does he rush the passer? That's where he makes his big plays, getting into the backfield. But the best ones can play the run as well. And that's what we're seeing from him, that excellent combination of holding the point of attack and also getting upfield to make plays in the backfield. One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
And they get 10 yards there and convert on third.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a first down.
And he is going to lose yardage here. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
Okay, let's just make this one simple. We know that the running game is not their thing, but they can't just throw it on every single down without expecting some real heat from the pass rush.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Escaping the pressure right. Had his hands on it, but dropped it. The rookie making a little bit of a rookie mistake. Third down. And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively. He'll look to throw. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And he's got the first down. Yardage before being taken down at midfield. They give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs. Pretty solid start for the rookie here on this first drive, Charles.
Able to have some confidence, stepping back into the pocket, move around a little bit, find open receivers, and deliver. That just means his confidence is going to continue to grow because he's getting more and more comfortable with each completed pass.
That one good for 10 yards. And that'll bring up a second in just about a few inches here.
That was a good, strong run there. While it won't pick up a first down, it was definitely something needed by that offense. A positive run. They got a good push by their guys up front. Maybe something they can build on as this game continues.
Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs.
We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
Inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down. So we've got a 2nd and 5. They're going to look to throw. And an alley to run. And he'll slide down to avoid the contact. Maybe not exactly what they had in mind, but that scramble good for 6 and a first down.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the third one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
All right, here we go. Blue landing. Blue landing.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And able to get about 3 as he's taken down right at the 20.
Well, if the coaching staff's doing a good job upstairs, they'll file away what they just saw from the defense right there. They sold out to stop that running play. I'd say keep that in mind. They want to try that again, go play action, hit them over the top.
And the seemingly endless drive continues.
All right, here we go. 3-19. Good, good. Good, good. Over. Good, good. Good, good. Back 99 Philly. Here we go.
They'll drop the throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down. So 2 of 2 on third down conversions on this drive, and now they face a 3rd and 3 here. And he'll give it here to his running back. Able to push his way through. And this play gets blown up. They'll lose yardage. Back at the 17. Losing 2 yards that time, and now it's 4th down.
They tried to run right into the teeth of the defense on third down, but looked like those teeth were pretty sharp.
They were having absolutely none of it. Stuffed him for a loss.
Yeah, couldn't get any leverage up front and move people aside in order to run the ball.
And his kick is good. And the Vikings have a 3-0 lead.
Let's go.
Second down, Kaiser looking for Brett, intercepted. He's picked off at his own 37, and he's going to take this one back to the 37-yard line. They told us repeatedly earlier in the week in our meetings, we need some plays from our defense here on the road early. They got one.
And don't think they were above all week long pointing out to their defense that the other defense is rated higher than them. You going to let that happen, guys? Is that how we're going to play?
Now back to throw. And the third down pass falls incomplete.
And it is true. You can draft the fastest. You can draft the most athletic guys. But if they don't know the art of positioning, sometimes it's all for naught. In this case, in the right spot, help force the incompletion.
Well, had his hands on it for a second. Would have been a tough catch, though. Falls incomplete.
I tell you, it's not easy kicking field goals in the best of conditions in the football.
They'll run it again with Crowell. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. 3rd and long for Kaiser. And incomplete on the deep ball. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. And he finds a man on a crossing route. And they're going to get this one all the way out across the 45.
As big as the play that preceded it, but still, got to like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a first down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
The NFL on EA Sports is presented by Snickers. You're not you when you're hungry. Snickers satisfied.
And the man was all the difference. That's what forced the incompletion.
Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked. Now it's scooped up. He's got the lane, and there he goes. 20. And he'll score. Touchdown, Browns.
Downfield.
The play action fake. They'll look to throw. He's got his man on the crossing route. And he gets this one across midfield for the first down to the 46. He goes for 18 there as the drive will continue. Looking to throw. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he's going to get this inside the 30. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
On third down, he'll drop to throw. He's got his man. It's taken in for a Viking touchdown. Well, that's about as quick of a passing touchdown as you'll ever see right there.
Everyone has a section in their playbook called the quick game. That was the super quick game. Out of the hands of the...
Don't forget about it.
No, don't take him totally out of the game.
Here we go. 1, 9, 1.
Now a second down throw for Kaiser. And Crowell lost the football. And the Vikings pick up the football. There he goes left side. And he is not quite going to make it all the way in. They'll mark him down right about the 1-yard line.
I think what we just saw there with that fumble return is the increased emphasis on taking the ball away from another team. And no one wants to just fall on in football anymore, do they? They want to take it and try and score themselves.
But when you fall 1 yard short of getting in the end zone as a former defender, you know it hurts a little bit, doesn't it?
Not only does it hurt, the laughter in film is going to be intense. You are going to get jumped on for not making it all the way to the end zone.
Now we get a peek at the captain of this offense heading back out there. He's played a pretty clean first half, a touchdown, no interceptions.
Frankly, that's what they expect out of him. They want to see the ball thrown and thrown well, and he's able to do that and put it in the end zone. They'd love to see more of that before this game finishes. But right now, he's got his team in a good spot.
A good spot, maybe looking for touchdown pass number 2 here in the second quarter. Now they'll run it on the toss. Oh, and he will fight his way into the end zone for a touchdown. A great play there with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Vikings are going to add on to their lead.
We got a little bit of everything on that run. Offensive line creating some space, but how about the guy running behind his pads into the end zone?
What does that mean when a guy says running behind his pad?
Means that he's going to be a physical runner. That way he's able to use his shoulder pads, his forearms, anything to ward off people and power his way forward.
It's good to make it 17-7.
Sit up more, try and loosen things up. Get the defense to react to other people, other plays.
Rush coming, and he's taken down. I don't care if you're taking it in round 1, you're undrafted, whatever. As a rookie quarterback in this league, you're going to have games where you face adversity like this.
Lessons. All the time you're going to face these lessons. The key for this guy is, will he be able to bounce back in the next one? Because right now, this has not been his game.
Certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. Kaiser from the gun on third. And he's taken down. Back at his own 7. And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you're getting 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really nice job. But when you hold it and give up a sack, you're really almost discrediting their work.
Right at the 50, 1st and 10. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. Then he'll give it here to his running back. Open space inside the 10. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. A great effort there. His second touchdown of the game and his 9th on the year. And the Vikings find a way to stretch their lead.
Don't press. You'll make things a little bit worse. But in this particular situation, you try and heighten your play a little bit. So far, he's thrown 1 interception. He wants to balance that off with at least 1 touchdown pass in order to get his team back moving forward.
Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They look lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
Here we go.
Throwing again is Kaiser on 2nd and 10. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here because they didn't completions on 1st and 2nd down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the first half. But if you don't pick up the 1st down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
And he'll be well short of a 1st down as he stopped again right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. A nice job defensively. And it likely forces a punt situation on 4th. And a little careful, not necessarily on that play, but I'm sure that's in his mind somewhere.
Oh, without a doubt, because protecting the football is job one for anyone who's carrying it. And that's exactly what he tried to do on that play, but it didn't gain him any yardage.
All right, Brandon, back to you and Charles in a bit. But first, let's get you caught up on all the highlights from the first half. The Browns' secondary has held up to this point. The Vikings have struggled now for 2 straight weeks in the passing department, and so it just hasn't been a big part of their offense. Here we go. Let's do this. Here's your first half highlights.
And hello and welcome everybody back to your halftime break. This is Randy Replay here from the actually really luxurious press box here. I kind of like it. This is Randy's first trip to London with the team, and I have to say it's one to remember. The Minnesota Vikings defense playing shut down defense here. They have not allowed a single yard in the rushing and throwing department in the first quarter. They have allowed a little bit in the second, but so far, DeShone Kizer, 1 completion, -1 yards. 12.5 completion percentage, no touchdowns, and the 1 interception to Aaron Nelson. But Smeagol isn't doing that much better. He only has 65% completion percentage, 155 yards, 1 touchdown, and 1 that should have been intercepted there in the first half. We're going to get you into these stats, the leaders, and then we'll get you back out to second half football where the Minnesota Vikings lead 24-7. Now, if they score another touchdown or field goal, do you think... no, you got to remember, not allowed a single offensive yard in the first quarter. You got to remember that's against the Browns with a rookie quarterback. So, but to this point, you saw it in the pregame. DeShone Kizer has been good to this point. It's just this Minnesota Vikings defense has taken on a whole new, kind of not an aura, but really a new attitude. You could tell it in the Ravens game, especially in that fourth quarter, playing shutdown to get us the win. We're going to get into these game stats here, and then we will get you back out to kickoff. So as you see, the only positive yards was a rush by, I'm blanking on his name, Johnson Jr., I do believe, for 9 yards. That is the only positive yards this team has ever seen. Passing yards, at one point, DeShone Kizer was -18. He then made 1 completion for 17 yards, or a run, actually, for 17 yards there on the 3rd down to almost convert. 4th and inches, they punt. Turnovers, we are +2 in the take give for this game, giving us -1, I do believe, for the season. 3rd down conversions, 0 for 5. We are 6 for 10. So the player stats are as follows, and we'll get into this really quickly. So Isaiah Crowell, 8 attempts, no yards. DeShone Kizer, okay, so 1 run, 9 yards. So what was the other? So he has 1 completion to Isaiah Crowell for -1 yards. I don't know where that 9 yards of rushing came from. Obviously, okay. Okay. Never mind. I know where it came from now. Smeagol with a QB rating of 105.2 despite his 65% completion percentage. He is 13 for 20. That is 65 completion percentage for those of you that don't know how to do math or didn't look over here. 155 yards, 1 touchdown, no interceptions. Playing a good game. Rushing, and it has been Justin Sandman Vanderschaft getting the bulk of the carries here. 10 for 37 and 2 touchdowns. He has the team lead of carries over 5 with 3.7 yards per carry. Travis Parker right behind him, 4 carries, 13 yards. Daniel Hendricks, 3 for 6. Receiving, it is Darian Wilson running away with the yards here. 3 for 62. Again, a deep threat, as he has been this past couple weeks here. 3 for 36 for Anthony Bisbee, and Luis Gonzalez, the receptions leader on this team, 2 for 18. And Lou Wang channeling his inner Randy Moss, 1 for 10 with a touchdown. Drops are a problem here. We do have 2 drops by Luke Slazewski, Jesse Peterson, and a diving play by tight end Josh Gable, who made the drop. It wasn't recorded as such, I do believe. Nobody cares about blocking except for the fact that Pat Elflein went down with an injury. Yes, the starting center went down with an injury, so now we have Nick Easton as our center. So we will see post-game what happened to Pat Elflein and how long he will be out. You got to believe if he is out for a length of time that this team will go out and trade for a starting center, because Nick Easton is rated so low, I don't know if we can get it done with him. I do get the whole next man up mentality, but I don't know. He might be good, but Randy doesn't feel good about Nick Easton starting center for your Minnesota Vikings. Danny Pickering leads the team with 3 tackles. Jacob Pickering has 2, Rashid Spinks has 2, and Scott Rethwell has 2. As you can see, a plethora of other guys with 1. There hasn't really been too many offensive plays, so our tackle numbers will fall here. Sacks, we add 2 in the first half, 1 by Jacob Pickering just screaming through the line, and then Rashid Spinks and Tevin Fair split 1. Kicking, Brandon Baker, 1 for 3 on field goals. You've never seen this from Brandon Baker. He has been 100% pretty much the whole game, or the whole season, minus a couple. But he missed 1, and he had 1 blocked from 54. So 33% on field goals is Brandon Baker. Longest of 34, 1 block, but he's 3 for 3 on extra points. So 1 for 1 from 39, and 1 for 0 from 49. He missed a 43-yard, and that's just, you can blame that on the wind. It was coming at him, and the rain. Something might have happened on the field, and had 1 block. He made a 54-yarder attempt and had it blocked. So Brandon Baker, 1 for 3. Very rare sight. Of course, this team is used to kicking indoors. So Taylor Pleen on kind of a weird drive there at the end of the first half. You have the lead with, I'd say about a minute 34 left, and this team came out and passed it twice and then ran it and then punted it. So you could have put the half away, but prolonged it there with the kick, although they didn't give up any yards, obviously. So there you go. 1 punt, 48, netting 48. It went out inside the 20 at the 7, I do believe, or the 10. Sorry. Kick returns, it was Jesse Peterson just with 1 kick return. They got it off of the single touchdown that the special teams got off the block of Brandon Baker's field goal attempt from 54. So his return went 25 yards. Robert Nichols has 2 punt returns. 1 was fair caught, but the one he ran back was only 5 yards. And, so we're going to get into these Browns stats. Deshaun Kaiser has one run, 9 yards, and he has only thrown 1 completion. Deshaun Kaiser, 1 for 8 in the game, and 1 interception. So passer rating of 0.0 coming out of the first half. So we'll see what happens there. Although they do have a lot of tackles. They don't have any sacks, but lots of tackles for loss here. This defense is pretty good. Just their offense is struggling. Minnesota Vikings get the ball back up 24-7. If they score again, do you think we see Kenny Erickson or Stephen Campagna here? I think we do. If they go up by 1 more touchdown or 1 more field goal and make it a 20-point game or more, I do believe you see Stephen Campagna coming into this one. 5'7", third stringer, despite his overall being higher than Kenny Erickson. They liked what they saw from Kenny Erickson coming out of preseason 8 weeks ago. So, of course, he's a little bit taller. But, Anyway, we're going to get you back to live football action. Really quick, actually. We're going to check the medical Okay, so a bruised sternum for Pat Elflein. He is out for the game. We'll see afterwards if he is out for any length of time. Nick Easton takes over as starting center for the Minnesota Vikings in the second half of this game. So look for those blitzes to come through the middle. They know he isn't that good, so we'll see what Nick Easton can do at center. This has been Randy Replay. I will see you at the end of the game where I can hopefully call the Minnesota Vikings win.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And an alley to run. Past the 20. Touchdown, Vikings. A big play there with his first career NFL touchdown. And the Vikings are going to add on to their lead. And that moment we just saw, always so special for any rookie, the first touchdown of his career.
And there's nothing like anticipation, is there? You know he's been dreaming about it, thinking about it. It's been a...
And hello and welcome back to your first live action break. What a run. Smeagol must have noticed the cover 2 with the 2 safeties over top, and he audibled to a run play. The offensive lineman just got up and just made blocks for Travis Parker as he's on his way for his first NFL touchdown. 5 carries, 62 yards, and 1 touchdown on the day. Now, think about this. Travis Parker in the first game of the season, rookie, takes 3 runs for 6 yards, gets injured. 7 weeks later, he scores his first touchdown on his 5th carry of the game. Amazing story. We have another story. Smeagol, benched. Stephen Campagna comes in. He will get the rest of the half. So, kind of a speedy guy. He has 85 speed. Quickest guy on this roster as far as quarterbacks go. And we'll see what he can do with his arm and legs. So, Stephen Campagna, your new quarterback here for the rest of the game. This has been Randy Replay. I'll see you after the game.
And they'll let their fullback try and push the pile. And just a short gain that time as they're able to get him down. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to leave him with a 4th down.
Well, big man with ball met bigger man on the other side of the line. A really nice play for the defense.
The Vikings send out their punter as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. And that is what you call a hit stick. Put down to the ground hard. Up a 3rd down.
If these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they got to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
Now Kaiser. Now he'll let it go deep right side. That's caught inside the 20. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. Josh Gordon, his first touchdown on the year. And the Browns get a score closer.
And throw out of those. In this case, they took a nice shot at the end zone and made it pay off.
Here we go.
Working out of the gun. Here's Kaiser. And he's got it for the 2-point conversion. So they tack on a pair more here to narrow that deficit a bit further.
A spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area. And stopping him for a minimal gain.
Now they try the right side here. Room to run past midfield. That good for 22 and a 1st down. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Flushed out right. Room here to run. And he'll slide down to avoid the tackle. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a 1st down. They'll set up to throw. Eluding the pressure right. And I think the ball's out. And this is picked up by the Browns. And maybe that one caused by the weather.
Here we go.
On 2nd down, they'll try and run the counter. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. A great play there with his first career NFL touchdown. And the Vikings find a way to stretch their lead.
Well, partner, that was another explosive run, and one thing I've learned in our time in this game, yes, the offensive line has to get a lot of credit.
Here we go.
From the shotgun, it's Kaiser, and he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. Josh Gordon with 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game. And the Browns make some inroads here on that deficit.
Well, if you've got him in your fantasy league, you like his production, his second touchdown of the game. But right now, his team is trailing. Fortunately, he's playing pretty well and trying to keep them in it.
Now, they might need a little more from him here.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if they continue to call his number. Right now, he needs his defense to step up and close out the game.
I think that chicken parm from last night's gone to your head. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. Now whistles and a timeout. Looks like we've got a Viking slow to get up. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside.
They are. To me, it'd be like playing basketball, and you put up a token press. Make sure you get up there and make them eat up some time. Make it a little bit of...
And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack.
And plays like that really hurt play calling.
Second down, Kaiser. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 21. And his guys will take over at the 25-yard line. Both defenses have had their struggles, but they've been good enough to get them this lead, and another nice play there to help preserve the lead.
It's been a game of punch-counter-punch, hasn't it? All throughout. But this time, the big swing was taken, and it didn't land. Nice play by them on defense. You're taking charge.
They'll set up a throw. And an alley to run. And avoids the contact by sliding. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
Watch it high now. Look at 56.
And to give this time to the tailback. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. A great effort there. His 3rd touchdown of the game, 10th on the year. And the Vikings are going to add on to their lead. He keeps carrying the ball into the end zone, and in this one, he's sort of carrying the team on his back.
He's the reason that they lead right now. No question about it. And you talk about on his back, he's not minding the extra weight at all, is he? Carrying that just as lightly as he does the football.
Yeah, well, Charles, the forecast called for rain throughout the entire game, and we got rain throughout the entire game. But these two teams, they had fun getting dirty out there. They love the slop.
Did you trust the forecast ahead of time? Are you one of those guys that's skeptical about it, or did you trust it?
But when I saw just a big blob of green on the radar, I said, okay, let's trust.
Yeah, and that's why I'm glad you took my advice. Got your notes laminated, because, you know, open-air booth, that rain can affect us as well, although not as much as the guys on the field. But let's face it, it's kind of fun to watch these types of games, isn't it?
It is. By the way, how impressive is it that you travel with a laminator? I didn't even know there was a portable laminator.
The things that you learn.
Golly, wise beyond his years. So for the Vikings, they'll finish the first half of the schedule dead even at 4-4. And now it's off to Heathrow as they get set to fly back to the U.S. in a couple hours. Meanwhile, for Cleveland, things are kind of getting ugly as they drop to 1-7 now on the year. And they'll take this loss into the bye as they'll be back in action in Week 10. So that'll do it for my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry. I'm Brandon Gaunt. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. With that, we say cheerio from London.
And with that cheerio, we welcome you back up here into the booth. Stephen Campagna coming in for Smeagol. Obviously, not doing too much. But in the second half, the Cleveland Browns, Deshaun Kaiser looking like Tom Brady out there. Anyway, this defense maybe got a little too comfortable. And the Cleveland Browns made this one interesting going into the final quarter. But at one point down only by 8. So there's that. Gonna get into these player stats. We'll get you back to the main screen, and then we will get you ready for everything Minnesota Vikings bye week. Deshaun Kaiser with a 67.9 QB rating. If you remember, in the first half, he was held to 0. 15 for 33, that is 45% completion percentage. For those of you that didn't know how to do math or didn't look over here, 282 yards, 3 touchdowns, and 3 interceptions. But for your Minnesota Vikings, Smeagol exited the game in, I want to say the third quarter, 107.8 QB rating, 14 for 21, that is 66% completion percentage. For those of you that didn't know how to do math or didn't look over here. 173 yards, 1 touchdown, no picks in basically one half worth of work. Stephen Campagna came in, got a QB rating of 83.8, 7 for 10, 70% completion percentage, 56 yards. Didn't have to do too much through the air because, well, we were just nursing that clock and running the ball. Nursing the lead, sorry. Justin Sandman, if you had him on your fantasy team, well, righty-o to you. 14 for 71 and 3 touchdowns on the day. 1 broken tackle. Insane. Travis, his 10th touchdown of the season in just 8 games. So, averaging multiple touchdowns. Travis Parker, 8 for 64 with a touchdown. Derek Fahey, 6 for 41. Sam Gable, 5 for 33 and a touchdown, although it was Stephen Campagna taking over the yardage by 1 yard, 5 carries, 72 yards on the day. He's very mobile, and when stuff broke down in the secondary, he runs. So edging Justin Sandman by 1 yard for the lead of the rushing yards for the day. Ooh, that's crazy. Danny Hendricks, 4 for 4, lots of runs behind the line of scrimmage. Smeagol, 3 for 25. Matthew Peterson, 1 for 1, trying to convert on that third down. Didn't get it. Receiving, it was Luis Gonzalez who leads the team in receptions, led the game for 5 catches for 30 yards. Anthony Bisbee, 4 for 45. Darian Wilson, 3 for 62. Luke Slazewski caught his first ball in the third quarter. And in the second half, he went 3 for 21. Cameron Quick, 2 for 19 on the diver. Blake Letelier, 2 for 32. Travis Lee, 1 for 10, and Lou Wang, 1 for 10 on a touchdown, rather. Drops, because of the weather, we had 3. Jesse Peterson, Luis Gonzalez, and Luke Slazewski. Of course, the mercy rule in effect there at the end. They scored. Whatever happened, happened. Nobody cares about blocking, so we're going to go to defense. Look at total tackles, and it's Thaddeus Rozu with 6. Rashid Spinks with 5. Robert Nichols, Tevin Fair, Aaron Nelson, Jerry Myers with 4, Matthew Arnsdorf with 3. Hey, look, Danny Pickering had 3. Leo Neal, Josh Fitzer, Jacob Pickering, Scott Rethwell with 2, Justin Lewis, Josiah Russell, Derek Fahey, Poy Tralamalu, Otis McMillan, Dan Nolte, Paul Fritchie, Richard Southey, Jeremy Lindsay, Terrell Oliver, and Matthew Peterson all with 1. Tackles for loss, we had a ton. Josh Fitzer with 2, Leo Neal, Thaddeus Roser, Jacob Pickering, Rashid Spinks, Danny Pickering and Terrell Oliver each with 1. Sacks, we added 2 more sacks in the second half. 2 went to Tevin Fair for the day. Jacob Pickering had 1, and we split 1, Josiah Russell and Rashid Spinks. So Tevin Fair now leads the team. I do believe that is 7 sacks, or 8. I'm not sure. 3 interceptions this game. Josh Fitzer, Robert Nichols, Aaron Nelson. Of course, Josh Fitzer, the one you did not see because of the mercy rule. So there you have it. Pass deflections, we had 2. 1 by Robert Nichols, who continues his amazing cornerback play. And Lou Wang had a pass deflection. Seems kind of odd. Interesting. Forced fumbles, 1 by Thaddeus Rozu, recovered by Tevin Fair. Ran back 24 yards. No block kicks, no safeties, and no defensive touchdowns for your Minnesota Vikings today. Of course, the story of the game, Brandon Baker, 1 for 4 in the game. Must have had another miss. Interesting. Well, 1 for 4. One of them being blocked. 25%, so not a good day in the rain. Of course, this is the first rain game these rookies have seen, so you can't really fault them. It's more or less the elements they were forced to play in. Longest field goal, 34 yards. He attempted 2 beyond that. Had one block, 6 for 6 on extra points. Let's see, 39 he made one, 40 to 49 he missed, and 50 plus. So he attempted another one after the mercy rule. So another 50 plus yarder that was missed. 8 kickoffs, 5 touchbacks. Not a bad day for him. Punting, Taylor Pauline was called on another 2 times in the second half. Punted for 138, netting 137. Of course, that one punt, the returner did not call for the fair catch, and he was upended right there. One of them inside the 20, no touchbacks, longest punt to 48. Kick returns, it was Justin Sandman with 3 for 80 yards. Jesse Peterson took 1 for 25. Longest of 32 for Sandman and longest of 25 for Jesse Peterson. Robert Nichols took 2 punts, only 16 yards. One of them being 11, so averaging 8 yards on the ground for him. So you look back, look at this team. They gave up 8 points in the third and 14 points in the fourth after only allowing 7 in the whole first half. Allowed 282 yards of offense. That is still the best that we have done all season, and the rushing defense continues to dominate, only allowing 26 yards to Isaiah Crowell. Passing yards, though, we were edged, 256. Smeagol with a season low of under 200 yards. 20 first downs to their 9, 16 punt return yards, 105 to 63. Total yards, 661. Turnovers, we are +2 now. That gives us -4 for the season, I do believe. We'll have to take a look at some of the numbers, but because in the Steelers game there was a couple interceptions that, because of the sim, of course, were not counted. So I do believe we're -3 actually on the season. 4 turnovers today for the Browns. They are -2 for the season. 9 for 16 Minnesota Vikings on third down today. 2 for 10 for them. They are 1-1 on fourth down. 2-point conversions, they are 2 for 3. Red zone percentage, we were 3 for 4. That gives us 2 touchdowns and 1 field goal. Possession, we held the ball for almost half the game, so there you go. Penalties, 2 for 10, 1 for 5 for them, the false start. So we're going to get you back to the main screen. We will preview the bye week, and we will see you in just a moment. And hello and welcome back to the main screen. We have scouting points to spend. We will do that in everything bye week extravaganza. But the Minnesota Vikings will now learn their fate in the NFC North as we rack up 4 sacks against the Cleveland Browns. We will also look at Pat Elflein. Seems to be okay after that injury. We will take a look at Justin Sandman, who seems to be okay after his injury. Okay, so now we are tied for first as the Packers lost their game. Oh no, they still have one this week. So now tied for first, we'll have to see if the Packers win. The Lions and the Bears each lost. So we are here, week 9 bye week, and yeah, it's pretty interesting here. See what's going to transpire. Justin Sandman, because of his play, went up to a 76. If you remember, he was a 75, or a 73 actually, at the start of the season. Other people that went up, Josiah Russell went up to an 82. Robert Nichols went up to an 81. Of course, every 4 weeks we get a XP spending spree, you could say. We get to upgrade every 4 weeks. So Tevin Fair is now 81. Thomas Cross, 79. Rashid Spinks because of his play, 78. Ryan Buelow, Scott Rethwell, 79. Drew Warren is an 80. Jerry Myers up to a 74. Matthew Arnsdorf, 76. So we do get Zachary Anderson back. We're going to see if there's any other injuries on the injury report. There is not. So a shoulder tear, we'll get him back this week. He was very missed here, although we got interceptions in almost every single game. But yeah, it's bye week here, so be sure to stay tuned for Randy's bye week extravaganza coming out. That's always a hot topic, where we take a look at stats and everything else. Once again, your Minnesota Vikings travel to London and take care of the Cleveland Browns in convincing fashion, although they're a 1-7 team now. 1-6 coming into that game. 45-29. This has been Randy Replay. I will see you in the next one.